Yo, welcome back to the channel, House Fam. It's your boy Jay back with a brand new video for y'all today. And in today's video, we are going to be discussing One Piece chapter 1088. But before we get into this amazing chapter, let's drop that intro. Alright y'all, I know normally at the House of Animation we have not really touched chapter reviews, but I have to say, this man Oda, I don't know what he's been drinking, I don't know what he's been doing, he has been on fire. This possibly has been the greatest time to be a One Piece fan. This man has not missed. And what I actually really like is the fact that the creator of One Piece, Oda, is supporting the live action film, and you can clearly see that in the Shonen Jump cover page. You have the main actor who is playing Luffy in the live action Netflix series and Oda's drawing of Luffy around his shoulder. I thought this was really dope, and even in the cover page you get to see the original 5 One Piece characters. You have Sanji, Usopp, Zoro, Luffy, and Nami, and all of these characters in the background, which is very reminiscent of the early East Blue days. I thought this was a dope touch, and honestly I saw the trailer for the Netflix series. It's dropping at the end of the month of August, and I think it's going to be okay. I'm not expecting anything too crazy, but at the same time, if they got a bag and the creator supporting it, hopefully we get the due diligence that we as fans deserve. Now let's get into this chapter. As you know, in the last chapter, our favorite hero, the Marines, Garp, took a nasty injury. This chapter opens up with a flashback. Any anime fan knows when you get a flashback at the beginning of a chapter, some shit is about to go down. With the chapter properly being titled The Final Lesson, chapter 1088 opens up to Garp giving Koby some game and poses him with a question. A baby and an old man are stranded on an island full of fierce beasts. You are on a boat that can hold a maximum of 2. What do you do? With Koby responding that he would get off the boat himself, thus saving both the old man and the baby. With Garp hilariously throwing, I don't even know what this is, at Koby's head, and this bounces off Koby's head, which shows how dense he is. And this scene is perfect because it both parallels how Garp goes about his ways of justice and how Koby goes about his way of justice. I noticed that the object that Garp threw at Koby's head just immediately bounces off, and this is very apparent to this day as Koby still holds on to this value of trying to save everyone. And Garp hilariously tells him, nah man, you wrong bro, you should abandon the half-dead geezer. And this foreshadows what is to come, with Garp questioning the whole class, asking them, why the hell did y'all become Marines if it's not to safeguard the future? Garp tells the whole class that save the baby because the baby has more life to live than the old geezer. And honestly dog, I 1000% agree. And this is also aligned with Garp's way of justice that actually is juxtaposed against the way the Marines run the world, as the Marines really do want to safeguard their version of the future, but Garp is more invested in saving the youth and raising that next generation by passing that baton. And we see that all throughout this chapter. And again, we don't give Oda the credit because he gets into his writing bag, and the way he juxtaposed Koby and Garp in this chapter is fire. It's great, because the chapter then goes back to Amazon Lily, where this whole mini arc started, with us finally learning what happened between Koby and Blackbeard that led to Koby getting captured. As Blackbeard asked Koby, what do you want to do, hero? Are you ready to start an all-out war? With the Vice Admiral Yamakaji even emphasizing he's with sword, meaning whatever action Koby took, the Marines would not be responsible for it. Koby decides to offer himself up in place of the battleship and 800 Marines, with Blackbeard even thinking to himself that Koby must think so highly of himself. But that's not the case. This goes back to the original flashback where Koby stated that he would sacrifice himself to give the old man and the baby the boat. The chapter then finally takes us back to Hashinosu, the pirate island in present day, right as Pizarro, the corrupt king, is about to smash Garp's ship containing all the fleeing Marines, with Tashigi telling the civilians and the Marines to get ready to potentially abandon the ship. We then fast forward to Garp, who's laying on the ground surrounded by some sword members who are panicking because they know that this ship is about to get smashed, with Garp not even worried, fully embodying the will of Deep with a big ass grin on his face, telling them that he's going to give them an opening, giving the 3 remaining sword members their own individual tasks, with Koby being tasked to smash Pizarro's hand and the Rear Admiral Gruss being tasked to save the ship from any fallen debris, and Helmeppo being the enforcer ensuring that nobody gets in their way, with Garp himself saying, I will give you an opening. Dog, I can really see why this man is called the hero of the Marines. This man really went up against the Blackbeard pirates, even got stabbed on some sneak shit, and is still ready to bust ass at 78 years old. Right as they are about to get into the action, Garp drops my favorite line of the whole chapter. He tells a doubtful Koby to never second guess yourself in the heat of a moment. This is so important because we find ourselves always second guessing ourselves, and then when it gets time to finally get the shit done, we further are limited by our own mind. With the sword members now split up, the Blackbeard pirates think that Koby is an easy lick now that Garp's no longer there to protect him. And boy, are they on that ass. As Koby and Gruss are moving to their objectives, Gruss asks Koby, are you packing explosives to destroy that thing? And Koby responds, afraid not. I'll just have to cook something up. And Gus responds to him, how you gonna figure that out? This arm is massive and his palm can crush an entire battleship. And another thing that I really love about this chapter is that we get to see Sword move as a unit, as Helmeppo sacrifices himself to allow Koby to do what he needs to do. This man truthfully understood the assignment. Going back to Garp, we finally see Kuzan enter the chapter, who tells Garp, where are you exactly going with a wound like that? And again, it's his anime and manga, so when shit is emphasized, you know it means dire consequences. And Garp coldly responds to this man that this is just a scratch, with Kuzan responding, and oh, here I was worrying. And Garp just vanishes, telling Kuzan that this proves that you are still soft. As Garp rushes forward, knocks Kuzan down, and rushes through a whole bunch of Blackbeard pirates, we get one of the, okay, not the best part of the chapter, but the second best part of the chapter. This galaxy divide is nuts. We see Garp pinging around like a ping pong ball, heading toward where Pizarro's island personified head is. In his hand, he is charging up an advanced Conqueror hockey move that we get to see. The galaxy divide. This shit is straight heat. I'm telling y'all, he busts his ass. It's crazy. Son, this move is so OP. Pizarro's actual body takes damage. Yes, this man Garp used advanced Conqueror's hockey to take Pizarro's personified island body through his devil fruit, the Isle fruit, which allows Pizarro to essentially fuse with any island and personify himself, kind of like Pika, but you know, with less bitch tendencies, and actually cause physical damage to the real Pizarro. This is nuts. Hockey is getting crazy. I love it. I love it. With Koby realizing this is the opening that Garp meant, Gruss asks Koby, what are you going to do? And Koby turns to him and says, I'm going to live up to his expectations, and vanishes. Going back to Garp and Pizarro, Pizarro taunts Garp by saying that, do you think that this really would stop me, old man? Knowing that shit hurt, because it looked like it hurt. And Garp thinks back, knowing that his job as of now is almost coming to an end. And he reminisces on a conversation that he had with Helmeppo. And this scene is beautifully juxtaposed with Koby getting ready to do what he needs to do. As Koby is soaring through the sky, you see some of the Blackbeard pirates on the ground taunting him, thinking that the hero name has gone to his head. But little do they know, this man is about to cook. And I really like that this flashback is told kind of from Helmeppo's perspective, because he goes to Garp to tell Garp that Koby has been putting in that work behind the scenes, even after their long, intense training sessions. He tells Garp that Koby literally trains night and day after their training sessions, because Koby knows that physically, when he was first introduced into the story, he was not capable of being the strongest Marine that he is today. He spent whole nights hitting one of the battleship bags from the last chapter until his fist peeled and bled. That's why Koby was always seen with those bandages when we were first introduced him as a Marine. And this makes Garp smile again, because he knows the future's in good hands. Pizarro's talking that shit. He compares the size of Koby to an ant in comparison to the size of his palm. And you can even see that the Marines don't really have faith in Koby, with some of the Marines telling him not to get too close, or other Marines calling out his name, or even the Marines on the ship getting ready to go, saying that they are ready to full sail. And Koby finally digs deep, and in this very small panel, we see the Black Lightning lightning around Koby's fist, just like we saw with Garp earlier in the chapter when he hit Pizarro with that galaxy divide. And in the best scene in the chapter, Koby hits this dude with an honesty impact, a very fitting name for hero Koby, as his way of justice has always been an honest one. And to everybody's shock, shit, to even my shock, I'm like, damn Koby, I know you was OP, but damn, this is another level. This man literally smashes a mountain-sized arm to smithereens. And Helmeppo plays his part again and comes back full circle and saves Koby from falling down to the ground by catching him mid-air, with Gus playing the final part in this perfect plan as he saves a battleship with a clay web. With everybody celebrating and back on the ship now, Garp finally sends his final transmission, and it reads as such. This is Garp. The mission to rescue Koby was a success. All troops withdraw from Hachinosu immediately. I will figure something out. In situations like this, the safety of you kids is always the top priority. You finally get it, right? Our success here will prove to be a serious blow to pirates everywhere. So keep moving forward and never forget, you are all the future of the Marines. Who's current audience in here, man? Why is it always my favorite characters gotta motherfucking be on a t-shirt? And as Hachinosu comes to end, we see Garp on the floor surrounded by the Blackbeard pirate, and Kuzan is standing directly over him, which I thought again was a very cool way of juxtaposing Garp and his two proteges. In the last chapter we had the Kuzan and Garp juxtaposition, and now this chapter we have with Koby, as we see Garp's final moment in this chapter, him laughing as he has his whole ice spike sticking out of his chest and is starting to freeze, and Kuzan just has that look. And you know in anime, when a character's eyes are shaded out, it don't mean good business. And the Dendamushi clinks as the screen fades to black. The chapter ends with the world finding out that Garp has gone missing in action, saving Koby. And then we finally get back to Egghead Island, which the chapter in Oda hypes up by saying, however, another story would also gain the world's attention, the Egghead incident, which is emphasized, where Emperor Straw Hat Luffy would face a siege on the island of the future. Yo, god damn, what a chapter. What a chapter. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. This is a really good chapter, man. Oda has been on fire. This man has been cooking since the end of Wano. I don't know what this man's been eating. I don't know what this man's been drinking, but that boy is shooting 100 from the field. He's not missing. He is not missing at all. He is him. He is the GOAT.
That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
Three biggest takeaways from this chapter are one, damn, we just had this amazing chapter and we're going back on break after coming off a hiatus. But it is what it is, because if this is the quality that we're going to be receiving from One Piece, shit, in the final saga, it's all cool. Take a break, cook up, do what you need to do. We'll be here. We'll be waiting for it. And two, the biggest thing about this chapter, when I first initially read it, I totally glossed over the fact that Koby had Advanced Conquerors Haki. Literally, Reggie had texted me saying like, yo, what the hell? Koby has Advanced Conquerors Haki? Huh? I had to go back and read this chapter, and honestly seeing this gave me the idea for this video, because as you know, this is not a typical video that we do at the House of Animation. And upon reading this chapter and seeing how Koby and Garp was juxtaposed, and honestly Koby having Advanced Conquerors Haki, it makes sense. I mean, he's the young hero of the Marines. He's supposed to be the replacement for Garp if Garp ends up getting put on a t-shirt, which is going to be my point number 3. But the biggest thing for me is we need to find a way to better show characters having Advanced Conquerors Haki in the manga, because sometimes honestly it's hard to really tell what is Advanced Conquerors Haki. But according to the actual One Piece fandom, Advanced Conquerors Haki is infusion, and we learn what infusion is from Kaido. Only a handful of Conqueror Haki users can actually infuse their own body or their weapons with Conqueror's Haki in a way that's very similar to armament, hence why we get confused when we see characters performing moves that look like they're using armament Haki. But the clear difference between armament Haki and Advanced Conquerors Haki infusion is the fact that after the user infuses himself with Conqueror's Haki, the Haki is emitted from the part it is focused at in the form of black lightning. So whenever you see black lightning, it is a clear indication that a character has Advanced Conqueror's Haki and can infuse themselves or their weapons. Those are the differences. And 3, do I think Garp's really dead? No, I don't. But at the same time, it's not like the world government, in my personal opinion, was gonna come rushing to his aid, because low-key Garp ran off on his own to save a member of Sword. Sword members are not obligated to be saved by the government. And since low-key Garp did his own thing, and 2, Luffy is currently occupied on Egghead. He ain't going nowhere. The only other person I could possibly think of saving Garp that is from the Marines would be Sengoku or maybe Suru, just because of their connection. Akanu's definitely not coming to save this man as he believes in absolute justice. And the only other person who could possibly potentially come get this man could be Dragon. But then again, Dragon also has his own hands full with the revelation of what happened at the Reverie. So would I like to see Garp come back? Of course, I don't want my character, one of my favorite characters, to get the Jiraiya effect. Honestly, that would kill me. If it does happen, I understand why, but I feel like there's so much more that Garp could impact on the story, and there's so much more that we have to learn about his background with Kuzan, and if Kuzan's really an actual op, because we've seen this man free someone before only for that man to mysteriously be alive years later. Man, what a chapter, dog. If this is what the final saga is bringing us, man, it is the greatest time to be alive as a One Piece fan. This stretch of arcs from Egghead to the Reverie to Hachinosu, this man Oda has been cooking, absolutely cooking. I am so excited for whatever is to come next. And if it's a break that's going to keep the cooking alive, man, take a break because you deserve it, dog. You the one. Thank you, House fan, for stopping by the channel. We here at the House of Animation are dedicated to bring you guys the best content we can, and we put a lot of hard work into these videos. So it would mean a lot if you could mash the like and subscribe button, and make sure to turn the noties and alerts on to make sure you do not miss out on our videos. Also, make sure to drop a comment below to let us know if you guys enjoy these new chapter review type videos and if you would like to continue to see them on our channel. And well, with that, House fam, you already know what it is, baby. Gotta blast.